from the Real Housewives of Potomac. Please welcome former Miss United States and the CEO of Candiace Dillard Pageant Consultant, Candiace Dillard Bassett.
Hey, Candiace.
Hi, Queen.
Candiace.
Queen. Yes.
Hello.
Cheers to the Queen.
Yes, salute.
Yes.
Welcome,
Okay.
darling. Welcome.
Yes. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
Girl, I know you need a drink after dealing with the reality TV show stuff you're doing. I'm just saying. So how are you?
Oh, wow.
Right. Okay, she
I got
drank.
one to the head to that. Okay.
We're gonna get into all of that. So
All of that.
how are you holding up during this pandemic and your life right now?
The pandemic has been wonderful. So I'm naturally an introvert. I'm naturally someone who likes to be in my house. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to talk to nobody. So when the pandemic started, I was like, oh, great. I have no reason to feel pressure to take my tail outside. It's great. But then, after about probably 5 months, I was like, okay, is this over yet? Like, are we done with this? So now I'm starting to feel like missing my friends a little bit and wanting to kind of go out and do things a little bit. But I love just being naked in my house with my husband. Like that's where I thrive. Okay, at home. Yeah.
And I feel you, Candiace, because see, when the pandemic hit, I actually really started liking my husband even more.
Oh, that's a good time.
It was like
a good test.
It was
Let me tell you.
Time. Either you gonna throw him out the window or you gonna throw him down to the bed. Now,
throw him down on the bed. Yes, no.
Which one have you been inclined to do? Have you been inclined to throw him out the window?
Oh, honey.
Throw him down to that bed.
We have been throwing down to the bed, to the floor, to the couch, to all the places. No, it's been great. I'm a little embarrassed, but it's been so great. I always say that we both agreed that the pandemic has shown us that we are right for one another.
Yes.
I always knew that I loved him and that he was my person and he's my bestie, he's my homie. But when you have no choice but to be sequestered in your house with this one and we don't have no kids, so it's just us in this house.
Oh,
you
wow.
learn quickly if you like a person, okay?
Yes.
And we like each other and we respect each other's space too. So we have 4 floors in our house. So I'll spend time, in the bedroom. He'll go down to the basement and do his thing. And we come together. We love to eat. We break bread. We love to eat and drink together.
Oh,
so
that's good.
He pours the drinks and he makes the food. And I go there and enjoy, honey, and just be moisturized and drunk.
Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Right.
Drunk sex is the best. Ain't it, Candiace? Drunk sex.
Listen, so we had friends over the night before last. He's gonna be mad I'm telling you this.
That's all right, girl. Tell us.
Yes, don't tell him I'm telling you this.
Okay,
One of our friends brought over, it's called tincture, the weed juice.
Oh, okay.
And she was
Wait, let me get my phone. What is it called?
Okay, right.
I think it's called a tincture. I'm saying it wrong.
Oh, it come in like a bottle, like a
yes.
I don't know anything
it smells like weed. It's like weed, not weed, but weed. It's like
weed.
So
Snoop Dogg weed.
Wow. You got that loud.
Snoop Dogg weed,
Loud.
right? Right.
And it was a good strain because we were spicing our wine with it.
Ooh.
And after that, we had an amazing evening. It was a wonderful evening.
How amazing was it, Candiace?
It was so wonderful. Things happened multiple times that night.
Yes.
Wow.
Gosh. You know what? That's why you smiling. That's why she's smiling. So like, yes, honey, I got on this yellow and I'm getting it in. I am getting it. Right. We're not mad at you. Now, Candiace, you worked with the Obama administration, correct?
Yes, I did.
I mean, I just want to know how you go from the Obama administration to the reality world.
That's a question I often ask myself. I never planned to work in politics. I think for me, I don't particularly care for politics. I don't care for the politics of it all because it's disingenuous. You're often dealing with a lot of red tape, bureaucracy, things that just don't ring positive and happy to me.
But the Obama administration was happy though, right? That was a clean. We had 8 years of no scandal.
Yeah. 100%. Yes. And that is what drew me to that administration. So I'm a graduate of Howard University. Yes. I was finishing my undergraduate degree And I just decided to throw my hat in the ring as far as working for the administration. This is our first Black president. Hello. And I said, if I would be remiss if my Black ass is in the District of Columbia, I'm in DC, I have to at least throw my hat in the ring to say that I was able to work for this president. So I did, and I was brought on as an intern for the White House. I worked in the offices of public engagement and intergovernmental affairs. And after my term in the White House, I went to the Obama campaign and helped to re-elect President Obama in 2012. So that was my time in public service. Mm-hmm. And as a result, I've definitely taken on a new role of sort of feeling like I have a responsibility to use my platforms to speak on behalf of people of color, marginalized groups, women, so that we can always have a voice in our political processes. But I'm okay. I don't need to be there 24/7 because it's not a genuine place. Politics is so that's sort of where that came from. How I got on this show, listen, I don't know. I'm here. The purpose of the show was to put me in a position to do things like this, to act, to sing. I'm working on an EP. I just finished a movie with BET. So it's paying off, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Well, because that's what I was going to ask you. I was going to, segue off of Vivica's question and say, you came from that administration, government and politics to reality TV. And for what reality TV is known for now, what attracted you to the show, the cast, and I did hear you say you had 4 levels in your house, girl, so you must be getting a real nice check. But anyway, what about that fight too? You had a fight.
There was a situation, yes. So, well, I'll say this. So the home that we live in, I had this home before the show. Okay. So this ain't Housewives money. This is Candiace's money.
So you pocketing and putting your check into the bank for the Housewives.
Okay, that's right. We're not spending this check on this. Okay,
got that.
We are budgeting. We are budgetnistas in this house, and I'm not ashamed to say it.
Absolutely.
But I think for me, like I said, I had a set of goals, and I say this to any woman who approaches me about being on reality TV. I think if you don't approach the space with a set of goals and a trajectory, you will get lost in the sauce and lose yourself, as we've seen some of these women do. Amen. That was not my legacy or my story. I came here because I knew that I wanted to act, I wanted to sing, I wanted to commentate, I wanted to be a voice, I wanted to be an empowerer of women, and I believe that I'm trying to do most of those things most of the time. It's hard, and the devil tries to pull you away from your calling, but I honestly came into this space of reality TV to put my platform and my goals on Front Street so that I could accomplish what I want to accomplish, and really not be, and this is no shade to those who are, but I'm not interested in being a career housewife. Good. This is a stop along the way to becoming Kerry Washington or whatever the Lord has in store. Like, I don't want to be here forever. But I will also say this, if Bravo wants to write me a check for $1 million for a season, I'll come and kiki with y'all and cry and laugh. Otherwise,
why not?
Candiace,
why not?
Hold on, because she ain't answering my question. I'm waiting for the fight part, because they didn't.
I'm getting there. Okay, so what do you want to know? Because listen,
what happened? How did you get involved in a fight?
Well, that's not a question for me, because to this very day, I said this on the after show, I'm waiting at the bus stop for somebody to come pick me up and tell me what I did. Because
you didn't have to do anything. I just because I didn't see it. So I just want a little tea here of how did they maneuver you or guide you into a throwdown?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't, Bravo is not responsible for this fight. I don't blame anyone for this altercation, but the person who put their hands on me.
And for the record, I want to say real quick, the fight happened a year ago, right? But it just
came a year ago, almost literally a year ago on October 16th.
Have y'all resolved things since then, or is it still on site?
What do you mean by resolve? Resolved as in I am in therapy and I'm resolving it in my spirit.
But you two
but there have been so many things that have transpired during the fight, but really like the meat of it was what happened after the fight. So it's one thing to get into a physical altercation. I have never been in a fight, but I understand losing your cool, getting into a little scrap, and then, you know, going on your merry way. That's one thing. But to get into a fight and then leak lies to the press so that the person that you fought looks like the person who started the fight, and allows those lies to perpetuate and fester and create a whole other firestorm all by itself, that is what doesn't sit well with me.
Well,
If we had a resolution, if she had come to me,
Okay.
Monique, with a resolution or just an acknowledgement of the fact that it went too far when she put her hands on me, we could have moved on. At this juncture, there have been too many lies. I have been attacked within an inch of my life. I am in therapy so that I don't jump off of a bridge from all of the attacks of people coming at me, assuming that I threw a glass in her face, that I hit her with a bottle, that I threw wine on her to initiate the fight, which is what she has been saying, which is a lie. And people have now seen that. But that is what really took me out, is not understanding how someone could lie like that and then not own it.
So Candiace, so this is the question that I have, because it's interesting. I understand what you went through, because I went through this in the same setting in reality TV with a friend of mine.
A friend. That's the other thing.
A friend. We were friends.
That's what hurts.
So very quickly, in one breath, on one hand, you say, I'm in therapy and I have to go through all of these things. But then the other hand, you say, you know, but if they want to give me $1 million, I'll come back and kiki. So my question is, how important is your mental health and well-being? And how much does it cost?
When we come back from this break.
That's when we come back.
We're going to take a question. We're going to take a break, and we have to also address people in the comments trying to say you're not a victim. So I want you to address both those things. I think it's really important, because I feel like reality TV is not always, it's a lot of manipulation going on, but those are valid questions to answer. So we'll be back with more right after the break, right here in Fox Soul. Welcome back to Cocktails with the Queens. We are in the middle of a really interesting conversation with Candiace Dillard here about her time on the show. And Selena asked a question about, you know, on one hand, you're dealing with the issues of mental health and in therapy over some of the traumatic things that happen on these shows, which they are. And then saying you come back for $1 million because, hey, let's be real. I mean, that's a lot of money. So what do you say to that question, Candiace?
Yeah, that's a very fair question. I think for me, I started on this journey, like I said, with a set of goals. You come into this and you know to a certain extent that there's going to be contention, there's going to be fussing and carrying on, but there are boundaries. And you just expect that most people are going to read the room, understand the culture of the environment that you're in, and know when it's appropriate to be scrapping and when it's appropriate to do a verbal acrobatics. And I'm a verbal acrobat, and I'm always going to own that my mouth can be lethal. I can read you with a good subject and verb agreement, and that's what I do well. I didn't sign up for a show that was going to involve me being physically attacked. Now, if I knew that, I wouldn't be here. So to answer your question, Selena, me coming back, if they wanted to write me a check for $1 million, $2 million, that's predicated on the understanding that I'm coming into a space and an environment where I know that I'm safe, and I know that I don't have to worry about or deal with women or people who are going to fly off the handle and lose their minds and physically attack me.
But can I just keep it real with you, sister? Now, if you do reality, you know they gonna want drama. Let's just keep that real. Let's just go and keep that real, because I've been on shows where the producers have said, we don't have drama, we don't have no show.
That's true.
So, you understand what I'm saying? So yeah. When I think of the world of reality, when you do decide to go there, there's nothing wrong with bringing a little bit of drama, but it's just what you, depending on what you're going to do and what level you're going to go to, right?
And sometimes you don't never know when you're going to go off. It just happens.
At all.
Yeah, yes and no. I think, but also in the culture, again, I speak about the culture in this environment, we were never a show that went there. Now, I love me some Basketball Wives. You know, that's the culture on that show. I
Right.
love me some Love and Hip Hop. That's the culture on that show. They employ 20 plus bodyguards that are standing on the outskirts of the cameras, ready to jump when people want to get froggy, because
And
that's
the culture of the Housewives is that also.
Well, Potomac wasn't like that.
No, Potomac never purported that culture of physical violence ever.
Beverly Hills wasn't like that either until they did it.
Right. Well, now we're here, and this is my conundrum. This is why I'm up the creek and I'm looking for my paddle, because how did we get here?
Candiace, was this the first fight? Was this the first physical fight on the Potomac?
Yes. Yes.
So real quick, we got to let you go soon, but the burning question, fans want to know this. Should Monique be fired from the show, firing that altercation? What do you think? How do you feel about it? And would you go back if she's still there?
It's been made very clear on my behalf that I will never film with her again. I'm not interested in being in a room with someone who obviously doesn't have the emotional intelligence to control themselves in a verbal spat.
Even at the reunion special?
The reunion is an exception because I need to sit there and laugh. I want to hear whatever foolishness she's going to say, and she's been talking too much. But I will say this too. I watched this week's episode, and Monique appears to have a lot of residual mental health things going on. And I say that very seriously. And I think that she seriously needs to take a break and figure out what is going on inside of her that would cause her to make me, little me, this big in her mind, to take up this much real estate in her mind, that she would get so upset with me to physically attack me and then run around a barn and try to attack me again. I'm not in charge. I don't know what's going to happen. I know that I will not be working with someone like her ever again.
Or you know what, just take you some Kill Bill lessons. That's all you got to do, girl. So when she come, you just get her real quick, and back up.
And I can tell you how to get everybody out the motherfucking dressing room, please.
I was one. I would love to take a lesson from the queens, honey. I'll take a good lesson.
That's right.
Okay.
Get that first punch in all the time. Bam, real quick, bitch.
We are too grown to be fighting out here.
Well, no, we're too going to be fighting on camera.
Okay, that's the part.
Okay. Before we go, you also have experience and you have a pageant consultant business. I would like everyone to reach out to you, and she will not encourage fighting in pageants. She will give you proper advice in the pageant world, and that's something that is definitely beneficial. And I love to see more Black women in that space. Candiace, thank you so much for giving your side of the story. We really appreciate you
and joining us. Thank you so much. We appreciate
Absolutely.
So much fun.
Thanks, Queen.
We'll see you next time.